Welcome to the Mouse Gun Guy. Today, we're going to be talking about some history and relationships between guns. That's one of the things we do here. And you can see 4 guns, and we have to go from here and round to get down to this gun. So that's what we're going to do. So let me give you some background info. First gun we see here is the Baby Browning. The Baby Browning appeared in 1931. It's just an iconic little gun. Clean lines, simple operation, reliable, high quality, beautifully made. And when you have a gun like this, it's likely that other people are going to try to copy it. And there are many good reviews and articles about the Baby Browning online. I will put links to some of those at the end of the article if you want to get more information. Okay, so this serial number, the 344057, if you can look that up online. Browning has a serial number list. This was made in 1966, and it's in excellent condition. Okay, so now we have someone making a copy of the Baby Browning. This is an unlicensed copy. It's a Bauer, and it was made between 1972 and 1984 in Fraser, Michigan. Serial number 156029. You can see it's all stainless, and this one has nice checkered wooden grips. It too is a high quality gun, and since it's unlicensed, they had to try to avoid copyright infringement. So the way you disassemble these, you slide the slide back and rotate the barrel. This one rotates clockwise. The Baby Browning rotates counterclockwise. So they were trying to prevent a patent infringement there. Later, the gun, the Bauer name was dropped, and it was just simply called the Fraser, made in Fraser, Michigan. And they're a lot more rare than the Bauers. So that's another copy of the Baby Browning. Then we have, this is a PSP 25, Charlottesville, Virginia, VA 02545, and then it has Kastner on the grip, and that throws a lot of people off. I've seen these advertised for sale many times calling the gun a Kastner, and it's not. It's a PSP. You can see here's the manual for it, PSP 25. And so let me tell you a little bit of the story with this. Again, there is a long article about these guns that I will put a link to, also about Baby Browning and PSP and PSA, and you can read that later because we're still trying to get to another gun. I wrote to PSP and asked about the Kastner, and Lynn Crystal, the president of Precision Small Arms, which PSP now is. It's Kastner, or I'm sorry, Crystal bought the company, bought PSA and PSP and renamed it PSA, Precision Small Arms, instead of Precision Small Parts. And they're continuing to make these guns. These are licensed copies of the Baby Browning. And later days, they have incorporated CNC machining. So these are very high quality, and they're made in several different finishes and custom made. They're just beautiful guns, and they're expensive. So Kastner, Crystal says, was the master distributor for the USA subsidiary based in Charlottesville, Virginia, of Precision Small Parts. The subsidiary was the legal manufacturer of the PSP 25 pistol, although many parts of the pistol were made by the parent company in Aurora, Ontario, Canada. Kastner's company, KBI Incorporated of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, purchased most USA production of the investment cast PSP 25 pistols from about 1987 until 1995. PSP management at the time saw fit to let him put his name on the grip plates. That's all. So he was a distributor for the gun and put his name on the grips, but that does not change the model, the name of the gun. So now we come to this one. When I first saw this, At a glance, I saw it at an auction and I thought, oh, it's a Bauer. Then I looked more closely and I saw that the grips were not checkered. So I took a closer look. And then I said, Bar-Sto Precision, Burbank, California. What in the world is that? And on this side, it just has SS-25, 25 ACP, and this is serial number 028, a very low serial number. So I began to do some research. Bar-Sto Precision in Bar-Sto in California, Burbank, made precision small parts for the aerospace industry. Bar-Sto is still in business, but not in California. In 2011, they moved to Sturgis, South Dakota, and they still make parts for pistols, precision parts. And you can look them up on their website, and I'll put a link in there about, they have a little short article about this gun. So you can look it up and read it for yourself. Irv Stone III now runs the company. He said his father and uncle liked the Baby Browning, so they decided to make their own version of it. And of course, I'm sure they thought they were improving. He said these were made between 1971 and 1973. They were handmade at the time on manual machines. They were fit up one at a time. They made 104 total. That's all. I do have, it has some old records. He says the serial number on this one was transferred to his uncle, who was part owner of Northwest Gun Shop in Detroit, Michigan, in August of 1972. So this gun was probably made then earlier in 1972. And it is a copy of the Baby Browning, but not an exact copy. You can see here the safety lever is moved at the back of the frame here instead of just behind the trigger guard. And you can see the serrations here on the slide are a little bit different. And there are other differences internally, although they're fairly minor. But it is obviously a copy, but not an exact copy. So they would avoid any kind of patent issues there. So this gun is the most beautifully made little gun I've ever seen. The machining on this is just incredible. All the parts were polished out. Usually you can open a gun, even a Baby Browning, and you can see tool marks. These people were making, originally making aerospace prototype type parts for the aerospace industry that would later be mass produced. So when making a prototype part, you made it perfect. It was all polished, and all the parts in this gun are polished. There are no tool marks visible inside. It's just incredible to open it up and see how clean and beautiful everything is. So it's extremely high quality, and it is extremely rare, as only 104 were made. I've only seen one other one for sale on the internet, and it recently sold for $480, which I think is probably a bargain. So these are very rare, and I'm pleased to be able to show you the Bar-Sto SS-25 today and how it relates to these other guns. Thank you for watching the Mouse Gun Guy, and come back and we'll look at some other guns that'll be of interest to you.